Hi friends, welcome back to Excel Map. This is Srinivas Reddy. In this video tutorial, now we'll discuss about an important concept from the data tab is data validation. So what is the exact definition of data validation? It prevents the invalid data from being entered into a cell. Prevents the invalid data from being entered into a cell. That means it restricts invalid data. So just we'll say I want to enter this range of values only, or else I want to take this values only. So just you have to declare there. So the user can able to enter those values only. So for this shortcut is Alt DL. Shortcut of data validation is Alt DL. We'll see now the data validation with examples. Now we'll see what is data validation, how it will work. See here, select cells from A1 to A5. See, just I'm selecting blank cells from A1 to A5. Go to data tab, go to data validation. See here. See, there are settings, input message, error alert. So in the settings, validation criteria. See, in the validation criteria, allow by default, it will be any value. So that user can able to enter anything. It may be text or numbers or formulas, anything we can enter. Instead of that any value, you can choose whole numbers, decimals, list, date, time, text length, custom. So we'll see one by one. First, I'm selecting whole numbers. Whole numbers means the number without decimals. It may be positive or negative. Positive or negative, we can enter anything. Next, data, the whole number between or not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. You can choose anyone. Now I'm selecting between. So between minimum 10 and maximum is 100. Now I'm restricting these cells from A1 to A5 to enter user between 10 to 100, that to be whole numbers. Now say OK. Now just enter 10, it will accept, like 15, it will accept 125. See, we'll get the error message. Microsoft Excel, the value you entered is not valid because a user has restricted, because we given a range 10 to 100 only. Cancel. We'll give till 100, 10, any number. And outside you can enter any number because we selected only A1 to A5 only. So in that only the restriction is working, because there only we are able to enter 10 to 100 only. Now delete it. Again select from A1 to A5. Go to data validation. See, you can give any range like 1 to 10, 10 to 100, any range will give. Next, you can write any message like pop-up message also you can give for the data validation cells. Go to input message. You can say enter 10 to 100 only. Then OK. See, when I'm selecting the data validation cell, you got this pop-up message. That is, I was given inside the data validation input message. See, if you are selecting outside, that message will not come because just we given for this data validation range only. Next, see here, if you are giving anything wrong, see, you got the message. So that is by default message given by the Microsoft. So instead of that, you can enter, you can able to write your own message. So that again select the cells from A1 to A5. Go to data validation. There is error alert. In the previous one, just we given a message in the input message. Now we'll go for error alert. See here, you can write your own message, title. Just I am giving like Excel map. See, you have entered invalid data. Please enter between 10 to 100 only. See, you can say like this. You can write some message. So what kind of message you want to display when the user giving wrong input, that kind of message you can write here. Then OK. See, in case if I'm giving anything wrong, see, Excel map, you have entered invalid data. Please enter between 10 to 100 only. See, and in the error message also see retry. See, it is not allowing any time to enter invalid data. You can say cancel. Otherwise, you can choose this error style. By default, it will be stop only. So instead of stop, you can select a warning information. So stop is the 100% security. It gives 100% security for the data. So at any cost, it won't enter invalid data. In case if you are selecting warning, then okay. See, give anything wrong. It's showing some message. You are entering invalid data. Do you want it to continue still or not? If you say yes, the data will store. No, it won't. So like just 50-50 chances. And go to data validation. This time you go for information. Information means just okay, cancel. There is no security for this. So that we'll use stop only. Stop means at any cost, it won't accept invalid data. So that's why we are taking stop. See, this is settings. In the settings, you can select this process and input message, and you can give the error alert. In the error alert, you can give the title name, error message, and you can select a stop, warning, information, anyone's trial from this. Now, if you want to clear everything, simply just you can click on clear all button. See, by default, it becomes any value, input message, error alert, everything will go on. Now I'm selecting clear all, automatically it becomes any value. Now you can say okay. Now you are able to enter any value because now right now there is no data validation. You can give in the data validation this decimals. Decimals means points like 10.4, minus 2.3, and date, time, text length. Text length means how many characters you want to enter, like 10 to 20 or else greater than 5, less than 5. So between, you can give any number of characters. So that is text length. Now we'll say an important one to creating the drop down list. So now we'll see how to create the drop down list. See, first of all, I'm taking months like January to December. Select January, drag till the December. Now select any one cell. Go to data validation. Alt to DL shortcut. Go to Allo. Select the list. List means to create the drop down list. Now go to the source. You can select the range. See, you can select the range in the sheet or else in other sheet in the same workbook. Now you can click OK. See here. So we'll get the drop down. So this drop down is very important. In the future we are going to use regularly. This time just we are creating the drop down. Later while using the formulas, when I'm selecting 1 month, you will get that month data, or else you will get that month chart. So dynamically you can choose. See, like this you can create the drop down. We'll go to the data validation. Select the list. In the source you can select the range, then you can say OK. So by default you will get this drop down. In case if I'm deleting the source data, what happened? Yeah, still there is drop down, but there is no data inside this. Otherwise, go to data validation. Instead of selecting the source range, you can type manually by separating commas. January, comma, February, comma, March, comma, April, comma, May, comma, June, comma, July, comma, August, September, October, November, December. Then you can say OK. Now instead of selecting, you can type manually in the list. In the source directly you can type by separating the commas. So like this will create the drop down list. So friends, till now we did for the blank cells, for empty cells only. In case if there is data already, for example, I'm taking random numbers, rand between 40, 100. See, just select this, select the range, Control plus D, Control plus R, fill down, fill right. Control plus D means fill down, Control plus R means fill right. See, just the range, I'm taking 40 to 100 values. Now Control C, copy, Alt E S V, paste values, Alt E S V, paste values. Otherwise the values are updating, keep on updating. When you are doing anything modifications in the sheet, it will refresh. Escape. Now there is a range 40 to 100. Now go to data validation. Go to allow select to whole number. Now I'm giving range 50 to 100. See, there we taken 40 to 100, but now I'm giving 50 to 100 only. That means there are the values in between 40 to 50 are invalid values, invalid data. Because just I'm saying data validation, validity. So validation is 50 to 100 only. So these are the valid data. Remaining all are invalid. That is 40 to 50, less than 50, more than 100. Okay. But already we entered the data. So how you know whether it is valid or invalid? What are the invalid data? Then go to the data tab, data validation, this triangle button, then select a circle invalid data. Now we got the circles. Now we'll get the circles for the invalid data, that is in between 40 to 50. Less than 50, more than 100, we'll get the circles. See that red circles, 46, 41, 48, 47, less than 50 only. 40 to 50 only we'll get the circles. And the circles are maximum 250 circles we'll get in the data validation. For example, there are 300 invalid data, but for the first 250 invalid data only we'll get the circles. And if you don't want these circles, if you want to remove these circles, go to data validation, clear validation circles, and go to data validation. You can say clear all. That complete data validation is going to remove. So like this, friends, we'll use this data validation. It's very important concept in the Excel. We are going to use regularly in the many places. So in this video session, we discussed about what is data validation and how to give the numbers, so drop down, date, time, and how to give the input message and error alerts, and in that styles, stop, warning information. Then how to give the error message and title messages also. Next, how to create the drop down list. Next, how to apply the data validation for the existing data. Thank you, friends, for watching this video.